Hey, good morning. Steve Sapato here with Steve at stevesapato.com, stevesapatoseminars.com. And I'm here on behalf of Elena Rayrig and Transform Mastermind. So if you are not a member of our mastermind organization, Transform Mastermind, look us up on Facebook. We'd love to have you join us and get some of your problems answered and get your questions answered and get all kinds of business information. And so you can also join if you're a speaker and you want to be a better speaker, if you're an author, if you're just somebody who wants to be a better presenter or speaker, join the Engaging Speakers group on Facebook. Love to have you join us. And I guess we should start off today. I have a cough. No, I have a scratchy. It's not COVID. It's not. I promise. Isn't that the truth? We're afraid to even clear our throat anymore. Not so. Anyway, the title of this talk is I'm Not Comfortable When I'm Naked. And you go, well, what does that mean, Steve? If you haven't been with us the last 3 weeks, this is our fourth week, I believe, on talking about professional business networking. That's what we're talking about today, professional business networking. And I want you to understand that the title was geared towards us being uncomfortable. What makes us uncomfortable? What makes you uncomfortable? How do we deal with being uncomfortable? So when we talk about that, I'm uncomfortable naked simply means when most of us go or do networking, when we do conversations, one of the things that makes us feel uncomfortable, makes us feel like we're naked. Because when you're naked, if you were standing in a group of people and you were naked, wouldn't you be pretty self-conscious? I know I would. Yikes. And that's why I would never join a nudist colony. If you're a nudist, if you belong to a nudist colony, do you have to social distance now? Do you have to wear a mask? Oh, isn't that interesting? Anyway, as a side thought, squirrel thought, gone over there. But what I want you to understand is that what makes us uncomfortable, right, can also hurt us. And if my wife and I watch The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, whatever that thing is called, and we watch so much of some of these reality shows where the younger people, and I say younger because that's who I'm looking at, but when we see the people who don't know how to deal with an uncomfortable situation, and by uncomfortable situation, I simply mean like, when we get into like a conversation that we don't know what we're going to say next, and so we always put in these, whatever they're called, placeholders is what I would call them, words that don't belong, like. If you're a Toastmaster, it's and ums have always gone the way of the dinosaur because like has taken over. Oh my goodness. And so what makes you uncomfortable is silence. Yeah, it's called the pause. Have you heard of it before? Pause. Not like the dog. Woof, 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 woof. No, not like the dog. It's pause, like you have to take a pause. Think about what you want to say. It's okay to have silence in there. Now, granted, sometimes when we have silence, somebody else will jump into our conversation, so we fill it with a like maybe. But especially when you're having a genuine conversation, a pause, even so you can swallow. In case you didn't know it, I just swallowed. That pause is okay. It doesn't hurt our conversation. It doesn't change what you think of me. What does change it is if you fill that spot with silly words like and noises, right? Sounds that don't mean anything in the context of what you're trying to say. If you're having a conversation and you want to get better at professional business networking, then learn how to be a better communicator. My newest book coming out is called Shut Up and Succeed. And it's all designed around your ability to be quiet, to listen, to ask the right questions, listen for that answer. That's what it's all about. In professional business networking, it's important, it's vital that you learn how to be quiet. What makes you uncomfortable, right? Being naked makes me uncomfortable. Being quiet, being silent makes most of us feel uncomfortable. We get squirmy, we get uneasy. You know, I've been in sales for most of my life, and I'd love to be able to help you become a better salesperson. When we sit down and work on your presentation, Part of that is, are you recording your current sales presentation for you? You don't have to record them and give them to your boss if you don't want to. I know I used to hate, I worked at IBM. I hated having to give that transcript to the boss when he'd listen to it. He was always looking for problems. Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw him always looking for the flaws in my presentation. And what I should have been recognizing was he was really trying to help me be a better presenter, a better salesperson, to make a lot more money if I got that pitch down, right? And I didn't see that. I was worried about my ego. And so you do have to put your ego aside quite often. So when we talk about doing professional business networking, learn how to be a great presenter. And part of that is learning how to be silent, how to use the pause to gain an advantage. I sold used cars. I sold cars for almost a whole year. Maybe it was more than a year. It's been a long time and I hated the job. But part of that was learning how to pause and shut up. What is it they say? After you've made your presentation, the first person to speak loses. Now, I don't know if that's true over everything you do, but if I say, hey, this refrigerator is only going to be $2,395 and we'll make sure that you get free delivery on this. When can we have it delivered? And then you wait for the person to say, ooh, that's too much money, or ooh, and then you ask them other questions, right? Defining questions. Is it really the money that bothers you? Because I can certainly break it down into payments. And if it's really the payments that are bothering you, is that what's bothering you? Is there other features of the fridge? If I could show you a different, you know what I'm saying. What I want you to understand is the pause. I'm uncomfortable because I don't know how to deal with silence. Ooh, it's so uncomfortable. You ever sit and look across the table? That when I bought my last car, I had it about 2 years now. And I remember I knew everything the salesperson knew and more. And so I sat across and made a heck of a deal for my car. And I love the deal that we got. And part of it was knowing that he was going to have to shut up after he made a presentation. How long could we both sit there and look at each other? That's long enough. And so you have to understand that when you're talking about professional business networking, what's going to get you more leads, what's going to get you more opportunities. We talked about relationship, how most people go into business networking things to try and sell you something. Hey, I'm Steve Sapato, I'm with XYZ Insurance Company, I'm with XYZ Mortgage Company, I'm with XYZ Real Estate Company. And if you remember my name, we can help you because we offer this kind of service and we offer that. Every real estate companies offer basically the same service. You and I know that, right? Just like if I were to say, hey, I'm a speaking coach and I offer you this, 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 and this. Well, I can offer you specific things. Like my storytelling is strictly my business, is strictly my course that no one else can duplicate. I invented it, I started it, I designed it, right? But does everybody know that it's that important? Does everybody know it's the difference between success and failure when you're speaking and capturing an audience's attention? Probably not. So therefore, what do I offer that somebody else doesn't offer? And the answer is most speaking coaches offer basically the same information. It's just how we present it, how we get along with our clients, how we do more than just we do this. But that's what every company wants you to think too. So instead of your elevator pitch being, hey, I can do all this, it's, what do you really want? What are you looking for? How can I help you? When you think of a realtor, what's the biggest challenge you have with realtors? If you think of a mortgage broker, what's the biggest challenge? If you think of an insurance person, right? An investment person, what's the greatest challenge you have with sitting down and talking with any one of those professions? So understand that as we deal with things, it's all about the silence. If I'm giving an elevator pitch, it's almost always about me, my company, me, myself, and I, me, myself, and I. And nobody cares about you or your company. That's what everything I talk about now is people don't care about you. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's vital. If they understand that I work to get them successful, to get them more speaking jobs, to get them on the $10,000 stage 20 times a year. Oh my gosh, does that change their lives? Absolutely. You can see it on my pages. So if you go to my LinkedIn page, you'll see testimonials. If you go to my Steve Sapato Seminars page, scroll down, you'll see testimonials. Some people who are top quality people who have worked with me who say, man, right? Those are the things that we look for. So when you're talking about success in business networking, here's what you got to understand. People don't care about you. They don't care about your business. They don't care about anything about you. So when you're standing there spouting, conveying your business, your company, your organization, they want to know what you can do for them. What can you do for me? We talked about relationships the last couple of weeks, which is if you belong to a business organization, you got to have a relationship. Joe Apfelbaum does a great LinkedIn organization. So if you don't know Joe Apfelbaum, wonderful man out of New York City, and it's APFLE, I think, Apfelbaum, B-A-U-M. Anyway, if you'd like, he does like a monthly LinkedIn networking for people all across the country. And if you listen to him, he's got great things to say. So you have to reach out to the people you meet or the people you think you want to get to know in his groups. Because sometimes you'll have 120 people there. Sometimes you'll only have like 40 or 50. But you have to reach out. You can't wait for them to reach out for you. I had a gentleman reach out to me last week who says, Steve, I really appreciate your I, me, my stuff and how we shouldn't be talking about ourselves. He said, I'm writing a book. Can you help me write my book so that I take out the I's and tell a better story about them? I went, absolutely. And we're sitting down. We're going to be talking about what it takes to help him write a better book. Am I an author? No, not at all. I mean, I'm an author, but I'm not a writer, right? I'm not going to help him script this thing. I'm not going to help him do the verbs and adjectives and the sentence structure. What I will help him with is creating a story so that people want to keep reading. It's vital. I've worked with several authors who their story is all about me. Their story is all about I. The story is all about me. No. It's got to be about them. It's got to be about you. What do you want? When you tune in here, when you pick up my video here, what do you want out of this video? What would you like to hear about in terms of professional business networking? How can I help you grow your business? Write to me, steve@stevesapato.com, and say, Steve, I need help with. I'm sitting down with a guy probably later today. I don't even know when it is now. I think we'll have to look it up. But met him on an internet networking group, and I said, hey, I'll be glad to help anybody. I've owned 7 businesses of my own. I've been around the world around the United States a couple times. In other words, I have pretty good knowledge sitting up here, you know, and that comes from experience, failure and success. And so all I want you to understand is that when I put out in that networking group, hey, I'll be glad to help anybody if they need help in some area of their business or their life. What does it hurt to have a 35, 45-minute conversation where you might be able to help somebody? And that's what it's all about. How can I help you get better? Come to our business networking thing at Transform Mastermind. Look up Elena Rayrig and say, hey, I'm interested. Steve said something about you got a mastermind group. Tell me about it. And she'll be glad to talk to you about it. It's not expensive, and that's really one of the keys to success in our business is finding things that aren't that expensive that will really change your life. I watch tons of webinars online so that I get to see what other people are doing. And somebody said, hey, would it be worth a 5-figure investment to get a 6-figure income? And the answer is, wow. So they're telling me already it's going to be a $5,000 or a $9,000 investment into their program. And can I afford $5,000 or $9,000? Probably not, right? Probably not. Not that I want to, because unless they're guaranteeing something, if you guarantee me, right, then we work it out. And that's the one thing that you have to start looking at when you do business networking. How can I help somebody else? How can I make a difference to somebody else's business? What can I do to help them grow their business? And the number one thing you can help them do is get to know them so that you understand what they do for other people, right? Can they help you? Like, is this the best air conditioner guy I can find? Is this the better water softener guy I can find? Is this the best, right? I just started looking for a real estate appraiser here in the Apollo Beach, Florida area. Do you know how difficult it is to find an appraiser? I used to be an appraiser. I was an appraiser for 20 years. I had my own firm, I had 3 people working for me, you know, and we did a lot of work. And I bet you I've called 2 or 3 and they've said, oh, too busy. Sorry. Would love to help you. Just too busy. Wow. That's pretty cool that they're too busy to take on new business. Maybe they got to take on new appraisers, but maybe they don't want to. And that's the key. What do you want? And how can I help you in building your professional business networking right? How can I help you improve it? How can I help you grow it? How can I help make it more significant for you and for the people that you come in contact with? There are 5 questions you can ask. If what you're looking for, and let's go back to what's professional business networking anyway. It's getting to know someone. So if you're in a networking group, let's say you belong still, and you still meet online. So let's say you meet with 20 or 30 other business people online still to this day that used to meet in person. How many times do you pick up the phone and talk to them in a week or a month? How many times? Now that we're in Florida, so we're fairly open. How many times have you sat down and taken them to dinner or met them for dinner or met them for a drink so you could get to know them better? Know, like, trust. Isn't that what it's all about? And that's what you have to start doing. Make those personal connections so that we know, like, and trust that other person, and so they know, like, and trust us. The key to all of this is you have to reach out more than just the once a month or once a week networking that you get online or even in person sometimes. You have to make it more personal. And in doing so, you will create a bond where they will remember you. You'll be top of mind. Isn't that what they always want you to be? Top of mind. And they think, every time I give my elevator pitch, hi, I'm Steve Sapato, the most famous, unfamous speaker in America, and I can do all these things, and I can do speeches, and I can do... Nobody wants to hear that. What they want is, what can Steve Sapato help me with? Right? Can he help me give a better sales presentation? Can he help me close more sales? Can he help me make better connections? Can he help me make more connections? Those are the things that we have to start realizing when you're doing professional business networking, is that we have to have a reason. When I started this whole thing off and I said being naked makes me uncomfortable, that's what pauses in your conversation, or asking questions and shutting up until you hear it. One of the first, you guys watched the debate last night or whenever it was, one of the first things in the first debate was they didn't shut up. They kept arguing with each other and talking over each other. And you just wanted to go, everybody, shut up. Because nobody gave everybody else a chance to answer the question. And so last night's debate, it was great. They all got a chance to answer the question. Now, they didn't necessarily answer the question. They danced around it because they're politicians. Vote out all professional politicians. Vote out all lifetime politicians. November 3rd. Anyway, that's it's a squirrel. There goes. What I want you to understand is, when we talked about what makes you uncomfortable, right? Being naked might make you uncomfortable. Well, in a conversation, being silent makes us uncomfortable. Are you uncomfortable because of the silence that happens in your conversation? Don't fill it with likes and ums. Fill it with pauses that are meaningful. I want you to think about this. And you're waiting for my next line, aren't you? I want you to think about this. What do you want me to think about, Steve? That pause brings you closer, right? Learn how to move when you're talking to people. Learn how to adapt. Learn how to mimic. Learn how to create that wonderful connection that's going to make a difference between you and the people you're talking to. One of the greatest challenges we have right now is everybody wants to scream at the other people. Scream at them. This will win you over. Whether it's abortion, whether it's president, whether it's gay rights, I don't care what it is. They want to scream. They want to scream at you, right? F Trump, right? Okay, you're not going to win anybody over by screaming at us no matter what you do, by being rude to us. How do you win people over? With great, meaningful conversations. And if you're unwilling to have that conversation, if you've done debating, if you were in debate in high school, I believe firmly that everybody needed to take a semester of debate in either high school or college. Because in that, you had to attack from this, and then you had to defend from that. Same topic, right? The same one. So if you were defending the NAFTA treaty, right, then the next time around you had to attack the NAFTA treaty. Why was it good for America? Why wasn't it good for America? You got to see both points of view. You really changed who you are. And today, we're like, nope, this is what I'm feeling. This is what we're doing. I don't care what you say. It isn't going to change my mind. Really? Why? Isn't change inevitable? And what I believed when I was 25 or 30 certainly isn't what I believe today. How about you? Now, some of it is, but a lot of it's changed. That's important to understand. So when we talk about what makes you uncomfortable, let the pauses fill in with silence. Work on filling in with silence. It's important that as we talk, We allow silence, pauses, to help us create more conversation. It can create curiosity. It can just give us a breather. It can give us time to think. All of those things are important when we're having a conversation. When we're talking about professional business networking, it's vital that you understand what you're trying to do with your networking. Are you trying to get an appointment? Are you trying to find more business cards so you can send them spam email? What are you trying to do with your business networking? Whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's people you know, or whether it's people you hope to know. Make sure that you make that connection and make another connection. Put them on your list, right? Where they got a CRM so that they get every month, they get an email from you saying, hey, we haven't talked in a while. You know, how's your kids? How's your wife? How's your dog? How's your car? What happened with your broken leg? You were doing this. How's your mom? Whatever you got that information in your CRM, you can use it to ask them questions, keep them saying, hey, Steve Sapato, that's a pretty nice guy. Professional business networking. It's something you really have to study. It's something you need to learn. Ask the right questions, listen to the answer, ask more questions, listen to the answer. Stop telling them about yourself, and certainly pause when it's right. I'm Steve Sapato. You can reach Elena Rayrig at Transform Mastermind, certainly on Facebook. You can reach the Engaging Speakers Group. Please join me on Facebook, the Engaging Speakers Group. Or if you want to drop me an email, it's steve@stevesapato.com. You can also go there at stevesapatoseminars.com and learn more about how you can be a great public speaker, great professional speaker, somebody who gets more notice, more notoriety, more confidence from being a great presenter. I'm Steve Sapato. I hope you have a blessed day. And if there's anything I can do for you, reach out. I look forward to hearing from you. God bless.